Hello everyone and welcome back to Jacqs. Thanks for joining me today for World Card Making Day. I am here in collaboration with Country Craft Creations to bring a video tutorial on their free printable. I created this printable for Country Craft Creations and you can pick it up in the description box below. So we have a fun little printable to celebrate World Card Making Day, a time to remember our loved ones and send them a hug via a card. And I'm excited to share this printable with you. It's using Victorian teacups from Country Craft Creations, and that is what inspired this printable. Okay, let's go over all of the elements before we get started in creating our card. So you'll see this double stacked teacup set. This is so that you can fold it over and create one card with it, or you can cut it in half and have two separate teacups. There's also a couple doilies. These are always fun to have around. There are these adorable little baby tea tags, and there's even a heart that you can put on the tag. We have 3 different variations of a tea bag, and we have one with the pattern on it. We have one with a sentiment, "You are terrific," and then I created one so that you could actually fold it up like a tea bag. So I pulled apart a Lipton tea bag, and this is what it looks like. And so I wanted you to be able to recreate that here as well. You could always tuck in a little something in there, make it a nice little tag for someone. I just love that idea, having that already there for you. And then, of course, I included the sentiment in a separate element as well. And then there are 2 variations of a spoon. Of course, I had to throw that in there just for fun. And then there are 2 strips of scallops. And at the bottom of the printable page, you could even cut out the name Victorian Teacups if you wanted to use that in whatever you were creating. Now I took and uploaded the printable to Cricut Design Space. I erased the white background and I erased the text at the bottom of each page. When I imported that into Cricut Design Space, of course it imports it really large. So you have to actually resize the image, and it will give you a recommended size to use. It may tell you that the resolution is low, but you can see here the resolution is fine. So it prints out wonderful. Just ignore it. And that's just if you're using a Cricut. I don't have a silhouette, so I can't test that one. And I do have a Brother Scan and Cut, and I did try that before, and it does recognize and cut out the images without any problems. Now, the one thing that I did notice, and I wanted to share with you, here's my first design that I created. As you can see, I didn't use the different colored elements on it. I just had it all be the floral. And then I changed my mind at the last minute. I thought this was cuter. So as you can see, this is the printable page. This is Cricut Design Space. So when we upload it to Cricut Design Space, it does shrink all of the elements. So if you want the full scale elements, you're going to need to use a scan and cut, or maybe a silhouette doesn't shrink as much as Cricut Design Space does, or these are definitely ready to be hand cut. You can see the same here with the tag. Look at the difference. And then here is the difference in the doily. What a big difference. So I just wanted to point that out to let you know that there is shrinkage, and you may know that already, but for those that don't, there is shrinkage when you upload an element into Cricut Design Space and have to resize it down to get it to do a print and cut. Okay, I think that's all the information I needed to tell you about. Now, let's talk about the different styles of card that you can make out of this. As I mentioned earlier, you can certainly cut this in half right here on this line in the center. And that would give you 2 halves to do whatever you wanted to. If you want to use this element as a card, as it is, put this in your scoreboard. And I'm just going to line it up here with the number 6 score line. And take my scoring tool and just go along the line there. And fold it, make sure everything's lining up. Looks good, and then burnish that down. And there you go, you have a nice little card. You could add your sentiment in here if you wanted to. That would be cute. Now I only printed out one of these, so what I'm going to do is use my prototype here to show you this other card design. So all I've done is again scored down the center, fold, and I have my card base ready. What I'm going to do with my larger doily is figure out the orientation, turn it on the side, line it up here at the 6, and make a score line. Now I didn't measure or anything, so this is about 3/4 of an inch down from the top of the doily. I'm going to fold over and burnish. And what I'm going to do is attach it to the inside of my teacup. So I'm just going to add adhesive here. I'm going to make sure that these are lined up. Okay. And give that a burnish. What this does is create an easel card. To have a stopper on the card, I'm going to use this You Are Terrific. Let's see, maybe the other one would be better. It's a little bit smaller. Yeah, I like that one better. Right there. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to get some adhesive foam and put this on the back side. Now, I'm not taking the time to ink anything, but I would recommend inking everything. It just blends everything in really nicely. Okay, I'm going to bring this up and see about where I want it. As you can see, it's right here at the bottom of that image. How cute is that? There we go. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's what it looks like. But I love that idea to take that and make it look like it's on the doily there. You could take one of your spoons and lay that across. Oh my gosh, that looks adorable right there. Let's give this a go. So I'm just putting the foam adhesive right here at the top. Here on this side. And there we go. I mean, you can even go a step further and, you know, do a tea bag and put that on the side. Like, how cute is this? I love it. For this next card, you're going to need a cutting pad, a knife blade, a ruler and maybe a pencil. It all depends on how you want to do it. But we're going to take our 2 cups. We've already scored them in the center, but I'm going to flip this all the way over. But before I do that, I wanted to mention what's nice about this design is that the little handles can be on the right hand or they could be on the left, fitting the person that it's going to, right? That's what's nice about that. Okay, so let's open this up. What I'm going to have this do is the tag will be sitting in the cup and it's going to be a pull out, right? So we need to cut a slit in our card. So I'm going to find the center. You can just guess. You can use a ruler to find the center. And then on the score line, take and mark where that tag is. So if you found the center, it's like 1 inch on each side. Now we might have to cut a little bit more so it's smoothly removable, but for right now, I'm just going to do 1 inch on each side once the center is found. So I made my mark, and I'm just going to use my ruler to guide my knife blade. And let's see, oh, I did pretty good. I'm going to take my tea bag and slip it in there. I might do a little bit more to make it a little easier. And when you do that, just make sure you do it on both ends so that you can keep it even. Oh yeah, that's much better. Gives you a little bit more room to get in and out. Now, cutting that, you know, it definitely roughs up the page. And I didn't even talk about what kind of cardstock that I used to print this on. Yeah, here's the cardstock that I used, Nina Bright White 65 pound. I tried printing this out on the whipped vellum cardstock from Country Craft Creations, and that worked as well. So any lightweight cardstock will work when printing from home, or you can take it to your local printer and they can do it for you. So I'm going to get some ink so I can ink that up and make it look good. I'm just going to use some Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. This does have a vintage feel, so I think that'll be a good one to use. Now that we have our inking done, oh, I forgot to do my little tea bag. There. What's nice about this is you can write on the back side of this for your message. Now, I want to put this in the cut and see how far down I want it to go. So it really can go wherever you want it. I think I'm going to go a little bit higher, just so that they know for sure that that's there. If you go really low, they'll think it's just part of the card. So that is a little over a ½ inch. I'm going to open this up, keeping that in place. And I'm going to take my pencil and mark the sides of where the tea bag is. Now what we can do is take our adhesive and glue the 2 teacups together. So you're going to do that. Oh my gosh, of course a lot of glue comes out right there. But you want to stay on the outside of those lines that we just made. Okay, and then fold over and burnish that down really good. And to be on the safe side, I'm going to make sure my tea bag can still go in and out. Yeah, that works good. I'm bringing out this little baby tea tag. I already inked around this. And I'm going to go ahead and add my little heart to that. So cute. Just plop that right in the center there. You're going to need some thread or embroidery thread or string, so we can attach these two together, and a stapler. I'm going to use my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and let's see. I don't think we're going to need too much thread. I don't know, so I'm just gonna cut a segment. What have I got here? It's almost 3.5. But I'm going to staple this onto the card. Let's staple it onto the little baby one first. That looks like it might be easier. This needs to be trimmed. Okay. Now, on this little tag, I did include like this little staple right here. If you wanted to, you could cut on that line and add your string through that little hole. So why don't we do that just so I can show you. So I'm just going to cut right where my little staple there, a little faux staple. I don't know how I'm going to show you this, but it is cut out. Maybe you can see the white underneath it. And I'm going to try and stick my little thread through there. Who came up with this idea? I don't even know what to use to put it down in there. Oh my gosh. Do we want it to come with the thread out here? No, we want the thread. Let's see. Oh, look, if you kind of pull the front forward, it does open that up a little bit. Does that make sense? I kind of lost my train of thought. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to push this up in there maybe. There we go. There we go. Now I got a hole. I can put that puppy in there. Let's see. Am I doing this wrong? Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I think this is working. Yeah. And then it will be coming up through the top like that. That'll work. Now, what I could do is actually use my other tag to put on the back side. Yeah. Okay, this is coming together. You know what? One of the fun things about a printable is that once you print it out, you can do whatever you want with it. You can use it in projects to make with just the printable, or you can use this to go with other projects that you're working on, such as mini albums or folios. You could even use the Victorian Teacups paper collection and add these elements to something that you're making with that paper collection. There's just so many ideas. I really didn't have this mapped out. I just put the camera on and started filming. Well, I guess I didn't really need to make that whole. Anyways. So I'm just kind of having fun with this. I hope you all are enjoying learning how to use this printable. So I'm just going to add these two back to back. And that way it'll keep my string in place. or my embroidery thread there. Then we have a cute little double-sided tag. That's adorable. Love that. And then for this one, I am going to staple it to the front. Let's see. I'm going to put it in here. Got to get the whole effect, right? Put that in. We want this dangling. Oh my goodness. This is so cute already. Oh, like, how short do we want it? Do we want it to dangle a little bit? Or longer? Just put it wherever you want it and staple it in. Again, there's a faux staple on that tag. Right here is the faux staple. So I put my Tim Holtz staple right over that. Okay, now I'm going to cut off the rest. And now we have our cute little tea bag. Oh my gosh, so adorable. I love it. And that goes in there, like that. Super, super cute and easy to make. Now, another thing that we can do is take one of our spoons and put that in here as well, just as some decoration. Maybe we want it to come out this way. Actually, no, I like it better over here. It's so fun. There's that. Now, I did include a outline and all of the elements so that your scan and cut and all that would be able to recognize the elements easier. And when you're cutting by hand, to have that line around it helps you to cut close but not too close, right? So there's our little card. I love this, super cute. Add on the back your sentiment or photo. Adorable. So I'm going to go ahead and add a tea bag to the side of this one. I just think that would be super cute since we're already here. I have 2 of these cut out from earlier. I'll add my little heart again. So if you create a card or other project with this printable, please show us your makes. You can go to Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations and post your photos there. Or if you post on your own social media channels, use hashtag show us your cards and we'll be able to see them there. Okay, I'm just kind of repeating what I just did with the other card. Well, that one's kind of short, so I guess I'll use this one. Okay, our heart is ready. Now for this one, I did make a cut, so I think I'll just use that and put it in that way. That's cute. And I'll still staple it on there as well. And cut the rest off. Let's see. Maybe I can lift this up a little bit. There we go. Now, when you go to add these things, you just need to think about what kind of envelope you're using, of course, and is it going to be wide enough to house everything in there that you have going on. If you add items that stick out beyond the doily there, like I'm doing. Super cute. And there we go. And of course, then it just folds down and you could just put it right into your envelope. So with this folded, it measures about 6 inches long with all of my pieces parts hanging out over the edge. So really, it's not a bad size. So it works out for like a standard envelope. So there we go. That's so cute. It's so hard to show three-dimensional items because I don't have more than just one camera set up. One more thing on the easel card that I wanted to mention is that I included some scallops, and they're the right color to go along with this, but my Cricut didn't cut it out right. So, oh, actually it would fit on this one because it shrunk it. So it would go along the top here if you would want a scalloped edge. So just to let you know that that is an option. I did include 2 of these, but like I said, Cricut didn't cut it out properly, as you can see there. So other than that, we were good to go. So I also wanted to show you how to score on this one and get it prepared. So really it's quite easy. You're just going to line up these lines here at the bottom of the tea bag onto your scoreboard and burnish each of those. So just fold and fold. And then actually you can bring these 2 together at the top and you see it makes a little tea bag just like you get from Lipton or anything like that. If you wanted to, you could even put a score line in the center and then it would fold up if you wanted it to be something more like that. Okay, just giving you another option. But that's how that would go. You could staple these shut. You could cut where the staples are, put a little ribbon through there and tie it. You could hang a little treat in here. You know, there's all kinds of things you could do with this. Punch a hole, make a tag out of it. You could glue these back to back and cut this centerpiece out. Just all kinds of things that you can do with it. And the great thing about the printable is that you can print it over and over again. So that's what I have for you today on World Card Making Day. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. I gave you 3 different ways to create a card from the printable, as well as some other options. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next time.